No one comes here looking for R&R. You come here for the open all-night kind of life. For a one-of-a-kind sight, sounds, and attitude. New Orleans isn't just a city, it's a celebration. And tonight, the Big Easy's Party Central is the Sugar Bowl. These are the Sooners, a high pedigree program. Baker, Dede, and the Boomers are ready to drown out the sounds of Bourbon Street and play themselves out on a high note. War Eagles' defense has made opponents bitter this season. Matched with a punishing run game, and Auburn's night could end oh so sweetly. Man, what a year it's been. And now, where the spirit of Mardi Gras and magic meet, it's the last call for football. Oklahoma and Auburn keeping the party going in the All-State Sugar Bowl.
Welcome to the All-State Sugar Bowl. New Orleans, Louisiana, Oklahoma, champions of the Big 12, Auburn of the SEC, War Eagle against Boomer Sooner. And the Sooners bring stars like quarterback Baker Mayfield. His receiver, another Heisman Trophy finalist, Dede Westbrook. Auburn welcomes back the big fella, the diesel, Kamryn Pettway. Good evening, everybody, and welcome. With Jesse Palmer, I'm Brett Musburger. Shortly, we'll hear from Kelly Hartung. Jesse, we always get good games under the dome in New Orleans.
Yeah, we got a great matchup here tonight, don't we? I think we've got two confident teams, really for different reasons. The Sooners obviously come in running a 9-game win streak. You mentioned it. Their offense features 2 Heisman finalists. They score points in bunches. Their defense really got better in the second half of the season. You look at Auburn, meanwhile, played great defense all season long. They had a 6-game win streak in the middle of the year. They were running the football beautifully, and then the injury bug hit them. To their quarterback, to their running back. They kind of stumbled down the stretch, lost to Georgia and Bama, but at those skill spots, they come into this game tonight healthy, and I think that gives their players and this coaching staff some confidence. I think they feel like they match up schematically very well with the Sooners tonight.
Happy New Year, buddy.
Happy New Year, buddy.
Oklahoma riding a 9-game winning streak, and they've got Sugar Bowl history now. They went to 3 straight appearances, late 40s, early 50s. And oh yes, back in '72 they defeated Auburn 40-22, and then 1972 they shut out Joe Paterno and Penn State. And then their last 2, but note that one on the bottom, folks. 3 bowls ago, 45-31 over Alabama. High-flying Sooners, champions of the Big 12, and here they come. If you like high-scoring football, folks, pull up a chair. Oklahoma, led by 2 Heisman Trophy finalists, is averaging almost 45 points a game. Auburn, 32 points a game. Oh, boy. Our head coaches, Bob Stoops, Gus Malzahn. Well, one way to slow down that Oklahoma offense is to take the ball right away.
Yeah, no doubt about it. When you look at Oklahoma offensively, to say that they're explosive really is an understatement. They are a home run waiting to happen, and they feature the best quarterback-receiver duo in the entire country in Mayfield and Westbrook. They love to take shots, and one of their favorite schemes is to roll Mayfield away from Dede Westbrook and then throw the post backside. By rolling out Mayfield, they're able to occupy that safety, get him out of center field. That opens up the area for Westbrook to make use of that explosive speed. And here's a 58-yard dime thrown by Baker Mayfield. Now, there's different ways you can get to it. They can use a slot receiver on this example, running a post inside to occupy the safety, and that's going to open up the post deep down the field for Dede Westbrook outside again. I think Baker Mayfield is the most accurate deep ball thrower in all of college football. They're going to have their hands full today, though, because Auburn has an outstanding defensive line, the best they've faced, and they're going to have to make sure Baker Mayfield stays upright. They protect him so he can take advantage of his Bolitnikoff Award winner outside.
So, Kaylee Hartung, how do they handle this combo tonight?
Well, Brent, Auburn's watched enough film on Oklahoma's offense to know that if Dede Westbrook is not in his home spot lined up on the left side of the field, watch out because something is coming. So defensive coordinator Kevin Steele got creative in his game planning here. He went to his graduate assistants. He said, draw me up 12 cards. He said, be the offensive coordinator. Put Westbrook anywhere on the field. Reverses, reverse passes, gas routes. Just don't put him in that #1 spot to the left. He liked the plays as GAs drew up so much they actually repped him in practice. Brent, when you got a month to prepare, you might as well get creative.
Thank you, Kaylee. Must be the shoes for the kicker, huh? We're underway. Taking a knee is Truitt, and now Jess, this will give us a chance to talk about the Auburn offense. They're healthy, and Shaun White's the quarterback.
And really, Brent, when he was healthy, he was playing at a really high level. He was the most efficient passer in the SEC. Very accurate in the short to intermediate range. Does a good job playing on time. He was able to avoid mistakes. He's an underrated athlete that can hurt you running in the zone read game and on scrambles. But you see, the injury to his right shoulder, he suffered against Ole Miss late in the season, really hampered him down the stretch. But having these 4 weeks off has brought him back, and he's giving this football team a ton of confidence.
The big fella going to block on this first down pass, complete on the opening play of the game, and that's freshman Eli Stowe.
And I think that proves the confidence of this coaching staff. Very first play, let Shaun White rip it out to the right side in a quick out route.
Now they come back with the diesel. Pounds to the 40-yard line.
How happy are they on offense to get Cam Pettway back? Remember, he hurt his quad against Vanderbilt. This is the leading rusher in the SEC, averaging 125 yards a game, and he brings a physicality to this offense.
Up under center. Got the jet sweep handoff on it and they come right back with Stowe. Just short of the first down. So the key on that play was the quarterback moved up right underneath the center. Here is third down and manageable.
And Brent, Auburn's trying to get physical. They're playing with 6 offensive linemen right now, trying to push Oklahoma around.
Stowe motions again. They come back with Pettway. Easy first down. Cruises across midfield. What a difference when number 36 is healthy and number 13.
Yeah, Pettway, 6 feet tall, 240 pounds, and is a punishing runner. He's the type of guy that gets better as the game goes on. And as you're seeing, he can wear down a defense.
Steps away from it, breaks 2 tackles, 3 tackles. Oh my!
I think the toughness of this Oklahoma defense is going to get tested. I think this is easily the most physical rushing attack they've seen since Ohio State. Now, that was a game they gave up 291 rushing yards. It's imperative up front. Oklahoma, they've got to be good at the point of attack. They can't get moved. They have to eat up blocks. They have to shed blocks and allow linebackers and safeties to play downhill and fill and tackle.
It was offensive coordinator Rhett Lashley calls the plays on the Auburn sideline. First down and 10 on a good-looking march to open the game. Prove that you can stop him. Then we'll stop handing him the ball. And Jordan Evans, they're all everything linebacker with that stop.
Well, right now, Auburn showing a lot of different looks and a lot of different formations and a lot of different personnel packages. They played a lot in 6 offensive linemen early in this drive. Now they're back to a more conventional style. There's Rhett Lashley, their offensive coordinator, calling plays.
Play action. Complete. That is when White is the best passer off play action. He hit Kyle Davis, another freshman. So it is the 2 freshman receivers who have made an impact early as Tony Stevens checks in for Auburn. Gus Malzahn desperately wants to finish off this opening drive. Look at this trickeration here. Oklahoma was ready for it. You could see the ball carrier was hiding down behind the lineman.
It's the old fumble Ruski play, Brent. That time they had Ryan Davis at receiver, kind of crouched behind the line. It didn't look like at the snap Oklahoma necessarily knew where to line up. Guys are pointing around, but a good job with the eye discipline. That play took way too long to develop. There's Jordan Evans, the leading tackler, making a big stop.
Can't beat the trick plays in the bowl games. Kerryon Johnson, number 21, his first carry of this game. He is close to the 10-yard line. Good run, Parker and Evans. That's Stephen Parker.
They're certainly happy to get Kerryon Johnson back, too. He's basically played the entire season with a bum right ankle.
Coming with tempo. Pettway back in on 3rd and 2. Behind the right side of the offensive line for a first down. He moved in behind Braden Smith and Robert Leff that time. And that stop was Okoronkwo.
Good movement up front. You mentioned it, Brent. Right tackle Robert Leff got some push on Neville right here. That's the key, able to wash the right side of that defensive line down, and that gave Pettway the space increase he needed to go and convert that first down.
So White is back, and Pettway's his running back. Pettway, and that time it took 4 Sooner defenders, but they forced him back. It
was DJ Ward at defensive end that time that fought through a double team. We saw in the last play, it was the end, Neville Gallimore that got pushed out of the way. This time, DJ Ward doing a nice job, as we talked about, being good at the point of attack, not getting moved. You're not going to make the tackle, but you're going to free up linebackers and safeties to rally to the ball.
Opening drive of our game. 2nd down and 5. Pettway is tripped up. Stephen Parker penetrated. Number 10 was able to get a hand on him and trip him up.
Oklahoma's Mike Stoops, their D coordinator, trying to find creative ways to get more bodies close to the line of scrimmage and involved. They bring pressure off that left side. We've seen them bring Okoronkwo. That time it was the safety, Stephen Parker.
3rd down and 5. Rolling to the left. Going to keep it. Very close to a first down.
Wow. Sean White takes a huge shot from linebacker Jordan Evans. I give Sean White a ton of credit. He's tough. 6 feet tall, 200 pounds, not the biggest quarterback in the country. Takes a lot of big shots, but watch Evans, 26, lower the boom on the quarterback. What a collision.
Hunter is in at linebacker for OU.
They do this quick huddle where they try to snap it quick sometimes and pitch it out wide.
There's the pitch. There's touchdown, Chandler Cox. Number 27, Chandler Cox. And folks, that is his first rushing touchdown of the season, I believe.
Well, a nice job getting to the line of scrimmage quickly. There were a ton of offensive linemen to the left side of the center. And they were basically able to outflank Oklahoma and get a great drive off the ball, get some movement. There's Chandler Cox, who normally plays that hybrid H-back, fullback position, normally a blocker. Nice run, pay dirt early.
Daniel Carlson. Tyler Stovall's the holder. On the first drive of the game, Auburn of the SEC scores on Oklahoma of the Big 12. But it will be high fly in Oklahoma's turn when you come back to New Orleans. Malzahn and the Tigers strike first. Westbrook. Lit up short of the 20-yard line. Remember, he was in concussion protocol and has been cleared. It looks so good in practice. Jess, let's look at this again.
Yeah, this is Montavious Atkinson, number 48. We talk about this being a physical matchup. Lots of hitting going on here early at this year's Sugar Bowl, and that's Dede Westbrook, who, yeah, welcome to SEC football.
1st and 10 now for Baker Mayfield and the Sooners. And Samaje Kamryn will open as running back. Westbrook's the motion receiver. Going to give it to him on a flare. I'm not so sure about that call after he was lit up on the kickoff return. That's Roberts making the hit on him. Regardless, now it's 2nd down.
Well, Brent, like Haley told us, this Auburn defense is very aware. If Dede Westbrook is in motion or he's not lined up to the left side of their formation, something's up. He's getting the ball, and that time they were ready for it.
Play action. Mayfield in a foot race. Throws on the run, complete to Basquin. Nick Basquin. And that's what Mayfield does so well. Throw on the run. The pressure that time coming from big Carl Lawson.
Yeah, Carl Lawson basically swam inside the freshman right tackle Bobby Evans, and that flushed Mayfield outside. But you're right, Brent. Mayfield does such a good job keeping his eyes downfield. He scrambles to throw, not to run.
Firing deep left side. A hand on it was Basquin and couldn't pull it in.
I think that was a good throw from Baker Mayfield. That time, I think Nick Basquin needed to put 2 hands up. So take a look at the Chick-fil-A impact players in this game. This is probably one of the best tandems of running backs in the entire country. Mix and Kamryn, both versatile, can run and catch the ball. But this defense for Auburn, one of the best in the nation because of Adams up front at defensive tackle, the first-team All-American Carl Lawson.
There's Kamryn to the 46-yard line, and Adams, who has a nose man. Look at that big number 1 down there defensively. Now, will you folks? He's from Georgia, and they say he's 309. Nonsense. That rascal is 325 or 330, Jess.
Yeah, Brent, he had a chance to go to the NFL last year. Decided to come back. It was the right decision because he's taken his game to the next level. So good at the point of attack and so athletic for a guy that's 310 pounds. He was rewarded for his decision, named first-team All-SEC.
Westbrook goes to the left. That's always an alert. Mayfield, quarterback draw, 1st down with Adams hanging off.
That time, Kevin Steele, Auburn's defensive coordinator, brought pressure off the edge to the left side of the formation with Daniel Thomas in the nickel. Baker Mayfield saw it, and tremendous athleticism climbing up in the pocket, then actually dragging, I think it might have been big Montravius Adams to get this 1st down. Watch this. Look at number 1 get off the block. It's a 310-pound body that Baker Mayfield's dragging with him. He's only 210 pounds himself.
Ball just across midfield for a 1st down and 10. Westbrook will motion it. They fake it to him. And they come back with Mixon to the 30-yard line. Daniel Thomas, a freshman from Montgomery, Alabama, forced to play, made the stop, but it's a 19-yard gain, and as you can see, it's coming back.
Personal fouls, chop block. Offense, numbers 78 and 58. 15 yards from the previous spot. Repeat 1st down.
You don't want to be chopped blocked by 78, folks. That's Orlando Brown. He's about 6'9". You want to take a look at this rascal.
Yeah, so watch number 78 over here. He's the one kind of getting involved on it. There's going to be a chop on number 95. You see the high-low combination right there on Dontavius Russell. You can't be engaged with an offensive lineman and then have someone cut him out from underneath. It's a dangerous play. Good call by these referees.
Knew his daddy. Passed away. Played about 10 years in the NFL. Daddy was known as Zeus. You're looking at baby Zeus out there now, 78. Not quite sure who to hit on that one, was it? That'll happen to a big offensive lineman like that. We come to the end of the 1st quarter. We're going to play some defense in this one. Auburn with a 7-0 lead. And if you just joined us from watching that dramatic Rose Bowl, Auburn scored on the 1st series of this football game. Won the flip, took the football, went up 7. That's Joe Mixon, number 25, just bending down there. Many of you are aware of the controversy surrounding this young man in recent weeks. But back in 2014, he punched a female student back in Norman. He was suspended the following month for the entire 14 season. Oklahoma thought he might transfer. Well, the video was released in 2016. Was released by Mixon and his attorneys because they knew that the media had sued and it would eventually get out. It was troubling, very troubling to see. We've talked to the coaches, and they all swear that the young man is doing fine. Like I said, Oklahoma thought he might even transfer, but he sat out the suspension, reinstated. And folks, he is he's just one of the best. And let's hope, given a second chance by Bob Stoops and Oklahoma, let's hope that this young man makes the most of his chance and goes on to have a career in the National Football League. There's a penalty flag. Mayfield is out to the right.
Well, and certainly he's faced a lot of criticism over the last 2.5 years. Joe Mixon has. One thing he's talked a lot about here in recent weeks, though, is his teammates and this coaching staff supporting him and helping him get his focus back on the football field.
Holding. Offense number 58. 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat, second down.
That's Eric Wren, who was guilty on that play.
Yeah, Brent, right now, Oklahoma is having issues with Auburn's defensive line, both in the run game and in pass protection. The strength of this Tigers defense is up front. They are big and they are athletic and they are extremely deep. They roll 9 different bodies up front to stay fresh.
Mixon slips in. Davidson, very talented freshman for Auburn with the stop. You're going to hear his name a lot around the SEC. You know, Jess, one of the things that's happening in this game, this is boiling down to big boy football all of a
Yeah,
sudden.
it really is. And I think in these second and third and long situations now, Auburn is going back to that too high safety look, trying to give help on Dede Westbrook because they have a lot of confidence in their front four to get pressure on Baker Mayfield without having to blitz.
This time he rolls the pocket to the left, throws hard back to the right. Mixon, look out. First down at the 30-yard line. We told you what an outstanding receiver this young man is.
And a nice wrinkle, finding another creative way to get the ball to the running back on third down. There's the rollout play by Mayfield. They run the post backside with Dede Westbrook, and Auburn's all over it. But no one covers Joe Mixon out of the backfield. Nice call by offensive coordinator Lincoln Riley. That was a quick snap that time by Oklahoma. It didn't look like Auburn was ready for it. Baker Mayfield just went really quick. Watch this. Went to hand the football off to Mixon, kind of looked around, didn't hear a whistle, so he just took off.
Smart dude.
Heads up play by the junior quarterback.
They're going to swing this with Mixon for the first down. He was upended by Deshaun Davis, number 57.
Yeah, Deshaun Davis has been a good player this year for the Auburn defense. 5'11", 240 pounds. Tremendous instincts, a big hitter. Kind of reminds me, remember London Fletcher in the NFL? Wasn't the tallest linebacker, but extremely smart, great football IQ, always around the ball. Deshaun Davis has been that for Auburn this year.
Reverse. Westbrook. Back to the 13. Deshaun Davis again.
I think Lincoln Riley's doing a nice job finding creative ways to get their most explosive player outside. Dede Westbrook, the football. Let's go back to this penalty where we're going to watch this play we just saw. Here the reverse again. This time they don't bring Westbrook in motion. They just leave him stationary outside to the right so it doesn't tip off the Auburn defense. Lincoln Riley doing a nice job kind of mixing up some of the looks. But no doubt about it, number 11, he needs as many touches as possible.
Second and goal. Great escapability. Looking in the end zone, moving a receiver. Touchdown, Mark Andrews. What a great job by Baker Mayfield. What he does best of all, buy time and waits for a receiver to clear.
Does a great job buying time. And then he points his tight end, Mark Andrews, who is on the right boundary, back inside. That's a dangerous throw. You always hear about the cardinal sin, throwing back across your body, but when you're as accurate as Baker Mayfield is on the run, you can get away with that.
Austin Seabrook ties it up. Good drive, and remember, most of all, they converted a 3rd and 22. But watch him, he looks downfield, escaping away from Adams, plenty of time, the daylight, and that's what burns defenses. That's why Baker Mayfield was a Heisman Trophy finalist. Yard line, and let's check in down below with Kaylee.
Well, Brent, yesterday, Oklahoma's offensive coordinator, Lincoln Riley, told us, you know, Baker Mayfield gets this bad rap for being all guts and no talent, when in reality, he is an elite thrower, as you saw on that last drive. Now, he says for Baker, it's all about his mentality. This is a guy who, if you look at their last 2 games of the regular season, West Virginia in a snowstorm, Oklahoma State in a downpour. A lot of guys would have trouble in those conditions, but because of his mentality, he said Baker Mayfield would be fine going out in a parking lot and playing ball. That competitive nature is what gets across to his team.
Yeah, Kaylee, he's a guy that I think always has played with a chip on his shoulder, was a walk-on at Texas Tech before transferring. People doubt him, he proves them wrong.
Time again.
And just like that, Brent, he always just seems to fall forward. You know, there are a lot of running backs in that scenario that try to kind of juke right or left. He just leans forward and kind of gains those extra 2 yards. Just like that, it's 2nd and 6.
White is upended by Caleb Kelly, that freshman from Fresno, California.
Yeah, this run defense got so much better in the second half of the season. I think a big reason why is because they started playing Caleb Kelly more. Way back at the Kansas game, he was the number 7 rated outside linebacker coming out of high school, and at 220 pounds, helped set the edge for this Oklahoma defense. Now here's Auburn. They've shown this quick huddle. They're going to look to do it again.
Take the end around. White. First down on a tough run. Fumble. Auburn recovers it. I think they're going to say he was down.
Yeah.
So he was down. No fumble on the play. Auburn football. 1st and 10. Good run.
Obo with the pressure coming off the edge here in a critical 3rd down. And Sean White, all 200 pounds. He's straining. Broke a couple tackles easily. The left knees down. The left elbows down before that ball comes out.
So it's 1st down and 10 at the Pettway. Short of the 30, and for more on Pettway, let's go to Kaylee.
Well, Brent, he's draft eligible, but he didn't even bother filling out the paperwork to get his draft grade. Back in November, he made it clear to everybody that he's coming back. He tweeted, "For all the Auburn fans asking, I will be back next season. I've got some unfinished business."
It becomes even more difficult, and that plays into the strength of Oklahoma. You folks who followed the Sooners, you know how many passing yards that Bob Stoops' team has given up this year.
Substitution for Oklahoma now. They take Caleb Kelly off the field. They go to a nickel look, extra DBs in this 3rd and long scenario.
Incomplete. Well, one problem with that, Jess, is they're a little disappointed in Tony. He hasn't stepped it up. It's been those 2 freshmen down to stretch for him, Davis and Stowe.
Oh, and speaking about freshmen, what about the true freshman Caleb Kelly, 19 right here, coming off the edge. He's having a monster first half for the Oklahoma Sooners. They're trying to set up the slow screen outside to the running back, Kerryon Johnson, but just too much speed by Kelly. We're excited about this young freshman.
So here comes the long field goal attempt by Daniel Carlson. And he's as good as they come in college football. This is a 49-yarder for the young man from Denver. His younger brother is committed to Auburn also. So here we go. He's always the favorite, folks. What a leg.
Yeah, Daniel Carlson is special, Brent. You mentioned it. SEC Special Teams Player of the Year. 8 times in his career, he's hit a field goal 50 yards or longer. They call him Legatron for a reason. And he said he's going to come back next year. It's great news for Gus Malzahn and the Auburn Tigers. I mean, this football just explodes off his foot. I mean, you can hear it all the way up here.
Absolutely. And if you're watching scouts, there's also that. Hope you had a wonderful celebration the other night. Got a chance to peek at that Clemson performance. Boy, wasn't that dandy against Ohio State? Of course, Alabama moved on by beating Washington. Joe Mixon's a running back. Breaks the daylight. No question about this young man's talent.
Well, he has a great job of setting blocks up. Watch this right here. When he gets the handoff, he's not yet running full speed. He's letting the blocks develop in front of him. Then when he sees the crease, he puts his foot in the ground and he gets north. I think so many good running backs have that ability to be patient. Certainly Mixon has that.
Swing it to him. Block on the edge, and he crosses midfield. So we get word that James Andrews, yes, that's the noted orthopedic surgeon, he's looking at Sean White's throwing arm over there on the sideline, and Mr. Franklin is up and loosening up, and it's been a troublesome couple of months here for White with that shoulder injury. Missed the last couple of games, actually was re-injured again in the Georgia game in which they lost. Baker Mayfield. How did he get out of that? How does Houdini do that?
Yeah, I was just going to say Houdini. It's unbelievable. It's the second time now in this first half. Jeff Holland, number 4, has been and had Baker Mayfield in his grasp. And just somehow, some way, Baker Mayfield's able to slip out and just keep playing. The thing I love about him, he plays fast, he plays with a sense of urgency, and he plays with so much confidence. He just gives this Oklahoma offense their swagger.
You were getting a little late picture of Sean White. There he is. He's going back to the locker room, folks. So it looks like we are going to see John Franklin at quarterback, snatched out of the air by Jeffrey Mead.
Well, if Sean White isn't able to return, then that completely changes the offense for the Auburn Tigers. They become much more one-dimensional as a running team. Now, the good news they get from John Franklin is a home run threat running the football. He's averaging 10 yards a carry. It'll be interesting to see how this impacts Auburn's offense.
Can't beat OU one-dimensional football. Not going to happen. Hate to say it. First down and 10. Play action, and he handed it off to him indeed. And fooled me, but not that defensive front of Auburn.
Yeah, they're just so deep up front. That time, number 95, Dontavius Russell, just defeats a double team and almost makes the play himself. And the real key, I think, all season long for this defensive line is getting number 55, Carl Lawson, back healthy and getting him on the field. Remember, 2 years ago, missed the entire season with an ACL injury. Last year, 6 games with a hip. But he's been able to stay healthy. He's been living in the opponent's backfield.
That's Baxter, number 1, motioning toward the top of your screen. Perine needs 83 yards tonight to surpass the great Billy Sims, an all-time rushing yardage. Oklahoma, and so many good things the folks say about Perine. What an outstanding young man he's been, and so far here tonight, I think he's been held to about 10 yards.
Well, so many times in this game on third down, they've thrown the ball to Mixon. He's not on the field right now. Now, Perine's a good receiver in his own right. You wonder how this changes Lincoln Riley's play call.
Perine crosses the 30-yard line. Well, I hope, you know, Coach Saban, he's a workaholic, but I hope he's able to sit back and relax and watch this game a little bit because
I'll tell you what he's doing right now. He's in the film room, and believe me, he's got his hands full watching this explosive Clemson offense and trying to help Steve Sarkisian catch up on the playbook. Wishful thinking.
Boy, that was a softball pitch for
Yeah,
you.
it was.
Wasn't it? All right, fourth down. They're going to go for it now on 4th and 4, and they bring Mixon into the game. Rolling, throwing, Westbrook grabs it. Oh my! On 4th and 4, they strike, and it's 1st and goal. Heisman Trophy finalist to Heisman Trophy finalist.
Mayfield able to scramble away again. Nobody blocks. Russell coming off the left side just buys enough time. He had the one-on-one matchup, and what an accurate throw. How good is Mayfield throwing to his right?
Mixon, touchdown. The Sooners lead for the first time in this Sugar Bowl.
And I like the job by Baker Mayfield after an explosive play on 4th down, getting his offense lined up quickly, trying to catch Auburn off guard. We're used to Auburn doing that offensively. Oklahoma giving them a little taste of their own medicine. They get lined up quick. They love this double pull concept in their run game where they bring the backside guard and tackle. That time, Samia, Bobby Evans doing a great job. Extra bodies at the point of attack. Oklahoma's offense coming alive these last 2 drives.
Siebert. 14-10. Mixon for 6. Six straight games. Joe Mixon with a rush touchdown. Now we'll see how Auburn will attempt to solve the quarterback dilemma. From the 2, Kerryon Johnson. Kerryon stopped at the 15-yard line, and we check in with Kaylee on Shaun White. Kaylee.
Well, Brent, we know that Shaun White has been taken underneath the stadium for an X-ray on his right forearm with orthopedist Dr. Andrews right by his side.
And so we can see John Franklin, young man out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, went to East Mississippi Community College for a time, and that was better known as Last Chance U. And you folks want to get yourself a little Netflix series and enjoy watching JC football. I highly recommend it. Jets is the one that tuned me on to it.
It's must-watch TV. We're doing season 2 now.
Pettway's in there with Frank. Frank was a very good runner, by the way. And you know, that might have kept him in check and opened it for Pettway, because on this read option, you better keep an eye on number 5.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Brent. It changes everything now for Oklahoma's defense. They love zone read type plays now with John Franklin in the game, and because of that speed, you have to honor it outside. You've got to slow down your rush and make sure he doesn't keep the football to get outside, because he is explosive. Again, averaging 10 yards a carry, and you're right. It does open up gaps inside now for the running backs.
Another first down. Pettway's an open field.
And the linebackers just freeze for an extra split second, making sure that John Franklin actually hands this football off. And that allowed both guards that time, Alex Kozan and Braden Smith, to outflank that D-line.
They're just sticking with number 36.
I wonder how comfortable Gus Malzahn is going at a very high tempo now, though, with John Franklin in the game. You may have to now slow things down a little bit to ensure the substitutions get in. John Franklin allows everyone to line up and be where they are. You can't have unnecessary penalties. It's another way that maybe this quarterback change affects this offense.
First pass of the game. How about that? Right on the money to Stoke. Oh, he throws the ball like that. Look out.
Oh, yeah, listen, velocity has never been an issue with John Franklin. He's probably up there with Jeremy Johnson, has the best arm of the 3 quarterbacks, but this is nice, a nice easy completion, a curl route, and he hits Eli Stove right in the face mask. That'll help the one-time Florida State Seminole quarterback gain some confidence.
So they've looked at the defense, changed up at the line. Franklin going to fire again, and it's snatched out of the air at the 26. Tony Stevens, holy Johnny Unitas, what's going on here?
Well, there's big Tony Stevens, the guy that was their leading receiver, and he kind of disappeared in the second half of the season, but that 6'4" frame and catch radius, reaching back and looking good.
That was a twisting gain there by Johnson.
It's a big drive, Brent, for this offense. They need to try to generate some points here at the end of the half and kind of re-seize some of this momentum that Oklahoma has taken away. Remember, the Sooners are going to receive first in the second half.
Second down and 6. Firing incomplete and went back for Stevens. So here's your third down and 6. The one thing that Franklin has to be careful of, because it's a 3-point certainty almost. 99.9 with Carlson. You don't want to give that up right now.
Well, you're one of those situations right here. If it's not open, either check it down, or if I'm Franklin, I'm just taking off. I'm trying to get this myself with my legs. You live and die by the blitz if you're Oklahoma. This is a dangerous situation to be in. If you want to blitz Franklin, if you miss him, he could take off here in man-to-man situation and hurt you.
Incomplete. That was Will Hastings working downfield. He was well covered that time by Will Sunderland.
It's still a good drive, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You lose Sean White. No reason to panic. John Franklin kind of comes out. You run the zone read. You gash him a couple times on the ground. Threw a nice completion to Eli Stove. Help him get into a rhythm. And I think setting up Daniel Carlson for what should be an automatic field goal, that's a win if you're Auburn.
.39-yarder, 2 for 2. We got a 1-point ball game here. Favored Oklahoma 14. Auburn 13 in New Orleans. Coach Stoops is with Kaylee, so let's go to Kaylee.
Well, Coach, the combination of Baker, Mayfield, and Dede Westbrook's been lethal all season. What has Auburn done to make that connection difficult today?
Well, they're covering well, and you know, that as much as anything, and there isn't anything special that we've got to go to Dede all the time. We've moved the ball pretty well with the other guys.
After that first drive and score by Auburn, how did your defense adjust to what they were doing?
Well, more than anything, settled down and started lining up correctly. With some of their pace and some of the different alignments they gave us, we didn't handle it very well, and lately we have been.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks.
All right, Kaylee, thanks a lot. 1-point Sooner lead. SEC, Big 12. Big boy football in New Orleans. And we welcome you back to the All-State Sugar Bowl on a New Orleans Monday night. Oklahoma and Auburn slugging it out with the Sooners up by a point, 14-13, just as we expected.
Yeah, explosive offense from Oklahoma. A lot of playmakers all over the field, and they really kind of came alive there in the second quarter. I think the key for them was getting Joe Mixon going at running back. I thought he really made his presence felt catching the football. 3 catches, a lot of them came on third down. None more bigger than this one right here, though. This was 3rd and 22 when he snuck out of the backfield, caught the wheel route. That set up their first touchdown. He's done a nice job running the football as well. 10 carries so far for 45 yards. This score, nice patient running in the red zone. And how about Baker Mayfield? He's been running for his life. Hasn't been able to set up behind center, but he's scrambling and throwing the football so well, especially when rolling to his right. He's been able to buy himself some time, distribute the football. I think this is an offense now that has their swagger back here as we start the second half.
And, of course, you can see the passing yards for Oklahoma, 145, only 56 for Auburn. But look at the rush yard, 123 Auburn and 80 for OU. And Auburn with more first downs in this game. And they scored their touchdown on the opening drive of this football game. After that, they settled for the 2 field goals in the second quarter. And OU scored both its touchdowns in the second quarter. And Westbrook will take this out of the end zone. It'll come out on the 25-yard line. Let's check it down below with Caleb.
Well, Brent, we will not see Sean White back on the field with Auburn in this game. An injury to his right forearm is serious. Coach Malzahn says he doesn't know for certain yet if it's broken or not, but Malzahn could confirm he will not be back in this game after that hit he took from the Oklahoma defense. They are going with John Franklin. It'll be his game to play. Malzahn said, we need to run the ball anyway. Let's go run it.
Yeah, that was that first clip you saw of him, and then you could see like a wounded duck. He threw that pass, and it's clear that there were problems. He tried to play with the injured shoulder against Georgia, we might point out. So he's a tough young, and Mixon will open here as the running back. Out to the 32-yard line. Holsey making the stop for Auburn.
You know, I think a big key for this Auburn defense here in the second half is they have to finish plays in Oklahoma's backfield. There have been multiple times in that first half where it appeared they had Baker Mayfield in their grasp, but weren't able to get him to the ground. They could easily have 3 sacks right now for this D line. They're getting pressure. They've got to finish plays.
Running back Mixon got the edge for the first down.
Lincoln Riley is setting up a shot play. We've seen a couple times in the first half. They pitch the football to the tailback, and then they throw the quick swing pass right there. Eventually here, Baker Mayfield's going to fake a pitch or fake a swing, and he's going to take a shot deep down the field. So Auburn has to be ready for that.
P. Ryan checks in. Saw Lincoln Riley. I've got a great anecdote about Mike Leach. Lincoln was a walk-on at Texas Tech, and as this game unfolds, he's got so many great Leach stories. One of the great characters in coaching. First down and 10. Rolls to the right and throws back to the left. Snatched. And another first, and that was Jeffrey Mead. Good set of hands. Rangy fella.
He's really coming on, Brent, the second half of the season. 6'5". You mentioned the size and that catch radius. They're taking advantage of a size matchup because Mead at 6'5", working against Javaris Davis, only 5'10". I've got bad math skills. I think that's 7 inches, the height differential, and you got to take advantage of it.
Oh, flea flicker. Got a man wide open. To the 15-yard line. Mark Andrews, who scored one of their 2 touchdowns.
It's a bowl game, so you always expect some trickeration. Nice job here on the flea flicker. And Mark Andrews did a really good job at tight end, kind of breaking down, making it look like he was going to stock block somebody in the secondary. And those are sometimes the hardest throws to complete for a quarterback. You've got him so wide open, you don't want to overthrow it, so you underthrow it badly. Most important thing is you come up with a completion.
33 yards. Mixon for 9 on first down. And this is a superb opening drive in the second half for Stoops and the Sooners.
And Lincoln Riley, just the entire playbook right now at his disposal. They're attacking outside on quick throws. They're running the football up the gut. Got some throwback misdirection, and then the misdirection on the flea flicker. He's got this defense completely on their heels.
Quick to Westbrook. Going corner, touchdown. OU strikes quickly with the first drive of the second half.
Well, Dede Westbrook was not lined up where he normally does. He's normally on the right side of the offensive formation outside. This Auburn defense was told to be alert for it. That time he lined up to the left. They brought him in motion. It was a quick bubble outside. He had way too much separation with the defender, Stephen Roberts, and then a foot race. Dede Westbrook's going to win that every time.
And Mark Andrews held the edge for him with a fine block at the goal line. Folks got a glimpse of that. Seabrook tacks on the extra point. 21-13. Now they loved it. Yeah, baby, that's Sooner ball. (21-13) Oklahoma. Well, Jeff, Auburn needs to respond. Well, Gus Malzahn and Auburn started out only 1-2. Clemson, Texas A&M beat them early on, and then Brett Lashley took over as the play caller for Auburn. They defeated LSU, and that was one of the more dramatic games of the year. Great implications for both schools. Then they go 1-2 in the last 3 games as they lose to both Georgia and Alabama, and they certainly were not healthy. But here, with a great stop, Jess, trailing 21-13, they get the ball back and ready to go to work. Pettway will check in. To the 30-yard line.
Yeah, Brent, this offensive line now for Auburn has to start taking over. They are much improved versus the first part of the season. They made a couple changes, moved Austin Golson from left tackle back to his natural position at center. Darius James moved into the left tackle spot. Robert Leffert, right tackle, started playing better. This all happened around that LSU game. They've really gelled here as the season's gone along.
Pettway twisting and prevented by more than half the OU defensive getting that first down.
Oh, no doubt about it. It's important here, I think, that Auburn starts getting some more push up the middle. They've got to work some of these combo blocks on the inside zone running plays and chip up, climb into the second level to get a hat on a hat, start getting some movement, and get this zone read game going for John Franklin to take advantage of. But it's going to be the big fellas up front that need to make the difference.
3rd down and 1.
Got 6 offensive linemen now in the game.
There's a blitz. And he ran by the blitzer.
Wow.
Stephen Parker.
Yeah, and normally, Brent, quarterbacks don't keep the ball on zone reads when there's a blitz coming up from the outside. And there was a little bit of an issue there with the fake handoff. Franklin almost fumbled that football. That was a big problem that Franklin had back in fall camp, running the zone reads with the execution and the ball handling. And now what do you do if you're Gus Malzahn? I think Gus Malzahn thought twice about it. Kind of, to your point, Brent, realize the situation. What happens to this game if they don't get this 4th down deep in their own end? They're now going to punt to Dede Westbrook, who, remember, against Kansas earlier this year, took a punt back to the house. Got to get great coverage.
Yeah, you're down only 1 touchdown. What a beautiful punt. Drove Westbrook back for the fair catch at around the 15-yard line. A 51-yard punt by Phillips out of Greenwood, Mississippi. Rainy New Year here in New Orleans. So Mixon returns as the running back. Play action from Mayfield. They drop it off to Joe. 9-yard gain on that play for Mixon.
Tremendous coverage that time on an island by Carlton Davis on Dede Westbrook. There was the bump and run man-to-man situation where Oklahoma wanted to take a shot on the post, and Carlton Davis was blanketed all over number 11. There was nowhere to go deep down the field. Nice job against the most dangerous receiver in college football.
Mixon tiptoes to daylight, and here he comes again. And out of bounds at the 40-yard line.
It's the patience again. The ability to set up blocks and allow the holes to create themselves before he hits full speed. I love this. Just kind of gears down. There it is, and now he's out. And he puts on the Jets. He's got that home run speed. 10 runs for 30 yards or more this year, tied for 4th most in the nation.
35 yards on that run. He's going to have a 100-yard game here. You know, Jess, apparently some people were very upset when I wished this young man well at the next level. Let me make something perfectly clear. What he did with that young lady was brutal, uncalled for. He's apologized. He was tearful. He got a second chance. He got a second chance from Bob Stoops. I happen to pull for people with second chances, okay? Let me make it absolutely clear. But I hope he has a wonderful career and he teaches people with that brutal, violent video. Okay, 2nd down and 9. Perine checks in as the running back. 35. And Perine to the 26-yard line.
What a block by the center, Eric Wren. He's working one-on-one on Montravius Adams all by himself without any help. Right here, he's going to get him walled off to the inside. Not a lot of people have been able to do this year. Just gives enough room for Perine to get outside. What about this offensive line for Oklahoma and how much better they've gotten throughout the course of the year? They're young. We've got 3 sophomores and a freshman playing up front. Because of injuries earlier in the season, they lost their left guard, Cody Ford, to a leg injury against Ohio State. Had to shuffle the lineup the first 4 games. Last 8, same starting lineup. They've built their confidence and gelled.
High snap. Mayfield in a foot race. Scoops it up, and then, I got to tell you, Jess, Baker, and he might have been shaken up on that play going down. Let's watch this. Looks like he may have a jump back up. Is he objecting to the way he was hit back there? It was a loose ball.
Well, this might be intentional grounding if he didn't get to outside of the tackle box. There wasn't a receiver within the area of where he threw this. I think this is why the Auburn Tigers fans are booing. Take a look at this again. Snap over his head. Can't really see where he throws it and whether or not there was a receiver back there in the area.
That's Lawson. Watch Lawson as he goes after him.
I guess they're saying that Mark Andrews, the tight end 81, was the guy in the vicinity. So after he gets a great block on Adams, the very next play, Eric Wren snaps the football over Mayfield's head. What a heads-up play, by the way, by Mayfield to avoid the big loss.
2nd down and 10. Mixon returns. Mixon closing in on 100 yards rushing, and he has 89 yards in pass receiving. Play action to Mixon. There is Andrews again inside the 5-yard line. Holsey bringing him down for Auburn.
Mark Andrews, 6'5", 250, fantastic athlete with speed and down near the red zone. This is where he's done his most damage this year. Really good over the middle of the field. And the red zone offense tonight for Oklahoma has been outstanding. 3 trips, 3 touchdowns, and Auburn has the 3rd best red zone defense in the nation. Coming in, only 34% of opponents' drives were going for touchdowns.
1st down and goal for the Sooners.
Dede Westbrook in the slot. You don't see him in there normal. This should be bells and whistles for Auburn.
Here he comes. Mixon's gonna keep it on a fake reverse. Out of bounds, just short of the end zone. That was Holsey who prevented Mixon from scoring.
How many great plays has Lincoln Riley dialed up using Dede Westbrook and moving him around in different spots? Let's double check this again, make sure he didn't get in. Right foot in bounds.
Did the football break the plane?
Take a look at this again. And did his body at any point ever touch the pylon? Still in bounds. I think that's a touchdown. Ooh.
Ball carrier was able to get the ball inside the pylon, which results in a touchdown.
Nolan Ryan right down the pipe.
Lamonier brings the heat, baby. That is Mixon's 2nd touchdown of this game. Tacking on the extra point. Caught on the 1-yard line by Truitt. Truitt short of the 20-yard line. And now just Auburn, having lost its starting quarterback. Uphill battle here. Now they bring Truitt. And it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, Auburn needs to get movement on the defensive ends for Oklahoma. They've got really good athletes in DJ Ward and Austin Roberts, but they're only 265, 275-pound players that in the past have gotten moved. I think that's where Auburn needs to be attacking there on the edge.
Incomplete, and it's 3rd down. Kyle Davis working deep, number 86.
Very important here in this situation, anticipating that Franklin may scramble if nothing's open right away. As a defense, you have to maintain lane integrity in your pass rush. You cannot get out of a gap, because if you give number 5 one split second, he is gone. And not just maybe go get the first down gone, he can take it to the house.
Now it's 3rd down. Drops it off, and it'll be 4th down and 6.
They're going to get a hold on the guard, Alex Kozan. He was pulling all the way across the formation, and Obo Okoronkwo was just too fast in. Kind of grabbed him, looked by around the neck, and dragged him to the floor.
Offense number 63. That penalty's declined. 4th down.
Let's go back and take a closer look here at Franklin under pressure.
Just 2 plays ago when he missed a post, and right after he threw it, kind of grabs the right throwing hand. It's kind of hard to tell if an injury could have occurred. Obviously, he wasn't touched on that play.
Westbrook is back deep to return this punt for OU. Fair catch at about the 27-yard line. There is obviously a 3rd quarterback over there for Auburn. As you see, Franklin's going in and receiving medical attention. Jeremy Johnson is over there. And Kaylee, what are you hearing about Franklin?
Well, Brent, before that last drive, Franklin was getting his right forearm massaged out by an athletic trainer. When I asked what was going on, they said, oh, he just needed to stretch it out. But there's definitely concern for what he's feeling in that right arm.
Yeah, how about the irony in all this, guys? Because we came into this saying how much more confident they were with getting healthy at quarterback and running back, and how it gave this offense confidence. Starting quarterback now out, and Sean White. Looks like Franklin's favoring that throwing hand as well. And this is kind of back to where they left off at the end of the regular season on offense.
Steady diet of Pirine, and I talked to another coach in the Big 12 about Mayfield. He said, Brent, he just never gives up on a play, and he escapes, and you can't stick with his wide receivers long enough to cover them.
Well, they work the scramble drill so much in practice, something I think they're very, very good at, because they know Baker Mayfield, when things aren't open, he's going to scramble to throw, not run. And these wide receivers and their quarterback, they've been on the same page really ever since they started playing Big 12 conference play back in early October against TCU. Boy, oh boy, have they been good.
Into the 3rd quarter, 28-13. Auburn's only touchdown came on the first drive of this football game. After that, the Sooners took control. Fires into the middle to Lewis. Midfield. Breaks free. There's a penalty flag.
I think they may say late hit here. Interesting to see where Geno Lewis, where his feet were. This contact was made by Trey Matthews.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense, 15 yards from the end of the run, automatic 1st down.
And that was really close. Geno Lewis is kind of tight-roping the left sidelines. Watch where his feet are here. Still in bounds. He's technically out of bounds right there. And I don't really fault Trey Matthews for that. That's a hard one to pull up on because it wasn't so obvious. And I think Trey Matthews was trying to ensure the receiver's out of bounds. Well, that adds insult to injury here on this drive. Oklahoma on the doorstep here, blowing this game wide open.
There is big number 78, that left tackle. Matthews receiving some medical attention. Orlando Brown. Double team, they come that direction. Baker breaks free for a 1st down across the 15-yard line. This offensive line just Bobby Evans, Drew Samia, Eric Wren, Ben Powers, and big Orlando Brown have taken charge.
Yeah, against easily the best D-line they've seen all season.
There's that total eclipse at left tackle, and Mixon was stopped after a short game. Trey Williams, linebacker, making the stop.
Got to force a field goal attempt here if you're Auburn. Cannot allow a touchdown. Again, this has been one of the best red zone defenses all season long, but when they've been inside their own 20-yard line, 4 drives, 4 touchdowns allowed. Auburn has not seen this kind of offensive efficiency in this area of the field. They need Carl Lawson, Montravius Adams, and their playmakers here to step up and make something happen.
Second down and 9. Mayfield again. Little was wide open. First down and goal, Oklahoma.
Well, they've run the swing pass to Joe Mixon so much that it's completely affecting the defense. So they're going to run Mixon out this way. Watch the flow over top by Auburn defensively, and that clears out the hole in the middle of the field. So a nice job by Lincoln Riley, the offensive coordinator, setting these QB draws up late. Now they're going to go to the Wildcats. Samaje Perine inside the 5-yard line. He's earned a living this season in these types of situations.
Mayfield is split out to the right. Perine. Touchdown, Oklahoma. There is Bob Stoops and Lincoln Riley making sure that Perine gets a touchdown in this game here tonight.
Give Carson Meyer and Dimitri Flowers a lot of credit because they paved that way for Perine on the outside. They get some great down blocking by the offensive line. And in that Wildcat package, 2 fullbacks, just too physical.
Seibert. I think I may have called him Siebert. I apologize earlier in the game.
Yeah, his mom texted me. I mean,
did she let you know?
Yeah, get that right. It's 2017, partner.
You guys get a lot of information from me on that Twitter thing. You know what I'm saying? Okay. 35-13. Fine evening here in New Orleans, especially for Oklahoma fans. And let me give you fans back home, you OU fans, another piece of good news. Buddy Hield, who plays across the street for the New Orleans Pelicans, he's averaged only 8.6 a game tonight. He hit Cleveland and LeBron James for 20 points up in Cleveland. Now the Pelicans lost. And here's Johnson for Auburn. Out to the 20-yard line. And now Jeremy Johnson, the big fella, has taken over as the quarterback. Beautiful throw on first down. Well, in a situation now, down 3 possessions, when it looks like you have to throw the ball to get back in the game, now you make the move to Jeremy Johnson. He's a better thrower than John Franklin, and he has tremendous arm talent. He can make the wild throw, as you just saw right there. Look at Joe Mixon there. He kind of wants to get involved real quick.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, so you got to get behind the red shirts. The freshmen, they kind of block for you. Johnson going deep for the home run. And there is their longest play of the game. Slayton, the receiver, as Johnson cranks it up. Well, I feel good for Jeremy Johnson. Obviously, we've documented it. His career in college has been a little bit up and down. What a throw potentially to end your college career on. Watch this, Bobby. Oh, how can you do that 51 yards? And then, oh my goodness, I get drowned on top of it. Still upset that they caught the post on defense. It's a defensive coach. Normally you turn around and hug the guy. He does not want to give up this touchdown. Carry on, bangs off his own lineman and is down on that play. That was Robert Leff. Number 70, Leff, Smith, Golson, Kozan, James. It's just fun when you watch teams throughout the course of a season. In college football, they get better or they get worse. Very rarely do they stay the same. Completely different team than the ones that lost to Houston and Ohio State earlier in the year. Second down and 11.
Johnson on the move. Incomplete. Let me tell you, I was around USC a lot.
Yep.
Sarkisian
Yep.
and Lane.
Yep.
Let me tell you right now, Sarkisian knew more about that offense when he was at USC.
But he had an entire off season, not 9 days to get ready for Clemson and get ready for Nick Saban in your ear and your headset.
But listen, I love Lane, but he's got another job. He needs to move on to do that. And they need a full-time assistant to call play. You and I disagree with it. First time we've disagreed.
I think it was the right move by Saban.
Here we go. Back now to get this tucked high and incomplete. Stove is the intended receiver. Man, I can't believe you disagree with it.
Well, for Auburn, you know, they're going to spin ahead and look towards 2017. Gus Malzahn told us yesterday he thinks next year could be the most talented team he's had since he's been there. Jarrett Stidham, transfer from Baylor.
Yes.
He's coming in to compete for the quarterback spot, and he's a pretty talented guy. That'll be interesting to watch, but you could add a different dimension of this offense.
So here's your last down for Auburn. Last chance. No, check it. That's a 1st and goal with Craig Myers. He's missing in action this year. One of the most ballyhooed recruits. And Gus wants to get the touchdown. And the crowd at Oklahoma is going to boo him. But I understand this.
Yeah, I do
too.
too.
To get a touchdown.
You know, we're talking about their team next year at Auburn, and whoever wins that quarterback derby, whether it's Sean White, whether it's Jarrett Stidham, John Franklin, whoever it is, they're getting the keys to a pretty shiny car when you consider Kerryon Johnson, Cam Pettway coming back at running back, and you just mentioned Nate Craig Myers. They've got 4 really good young freshman wide receivers. They're going to have a lot of skill on offense, and that defense under will be second-year defensive coordinator Kevin Steele should continue playing at a high level.
So here we go. Wildcat. Johnson keeps it straight ahead. Stopped by the middle of that defense. Mano.
Wow.
Trying to get a timeout with 2 seconds.
Whoa. Gus Malzahn and Rhett Lashley are not going to go away quietly in the night, to the chagrin of Oklahoma fans.
Strips it. We're going to go back to the Wildcat with Johnson again. Blitz from the edge. Jump pass. Touchdown. Jalen Harris, sophomore from Montgomery. So they score on their first drive of the game and their last play of the game, touchdowns. Game is over without an extra point.
That's a good game, man. You got a good game.
Very friendly handshake out there. Yeah, I think Stoops was okay with it. Why not? Let your kids try to get a touchdown at the end of the game. None of the funny math was affected by that touchdown, folks, just so everybody knows.
Baker, you have put together one of the most efficient seasons in the history of college football. How do you explain what led you to do that?
Got great coaches, great players surrounding me. They make my job easy. You know, I just come out here and all I have to do is do my job, and the rest is history. And you know, they do it well for me.
The last time OU won the Sugar Bowl, you were watching as a fan, and you came here inviting the competition. How do you describe what this means to you to be able to now celebrate a win of your own in the Sugar Bowl?
You know, it feels great. It's not even settled in yet, but it's so much fun to be here. I mean, the way we started really makes this whole season so sweet. You know, we worked hard, and then it'll settle in here in a second that we just won the Sugar Bowl. But it's been a lot of work, and you know, I'm really thankful for the teammates that are around me and my coaches. But you know, just really happy right now.
After that 1-2 start, how do you explain what led you all to 10 straight wins after it?
You know, we had a players-only meeting after the Ohio State game. Said that we weren't going to let the season slip away. Just made a lot of promises to each other, to our fans and the coaches, that we weren't going to let up. We weren't going to ever quit on them. And so, you know, ever since then, it's been 1 week at a time, and we've taken care of business.
Congratulations to you, Baker. Thank you.
Thank you.
So there you have it. Oklahoma, champions of the Big 12, 35. Auburn of the SEC, 19. So congratulations to the Sooners and all of their wonderful fans. The All-State Sugar Bowl champions. Stay tuned now for the Ford postgame show. We'll have all the festivities right after these messages. So Oklahoma closes out the season with a rush. And now they will pick up the hardware. I'm sure they will also have the most valuable player of the game. We'll be back. But right now, let's go to Stan Verrett.
All right, thanks, Brent. And thank you to all of you for attending the 2017 All-State Sugar Bowl Classic. The champions this year, the Oklahoma Sooners. Before we go any further, I'd like to introduce Chuck LaPierre, the All-State Sugar Bowl president. Chuck?
On behalf of the Sugar Bowl, I'd like to congratulate the Oklahoma Sooners and Coach Bob Stoops as champions of the 83rd All-State Sugar Bowl.
All right, also with us, Tom Wilson, the chairman and chief executive officer of All-State.
Coach, leadership, whether it's on the football field or in life, is about getting people to do things that they wouldn't do without you in your leadership. And you showed tonight, America, that you can take a diverse set of people, different talents, different beliefs, different backgrounds, and bring them together as a force for success. So congratulations to your Sooners on a great Sugar Bowl victory.
All right. All right, I'm caught up in the celebration here, Coach. Congratulations. You guys had that 1-2 start to the season, but these kids were in their season, won the Big 12 title, come here after a Sugar Bowl title. What was the key to that resiliency?
You know, the players kept positive, kept our confidence as a team, trusted our system and we just kept building and getting better and improving as we went through the year.
And now you hear so much about bowl carryover into the next season. What does a win like this and that win streak at the end of the season do for you as your program moves forward?
Well, I don't think there's any question. This gives us great positive momentum and energy going into the offseason and recruiting, finishing off recruiting. We already got a great class going, so there's a lot of positive momentum.
All right, congratulations, Coach Bob Stoops and the Oklahoma Sooners. Once again, congratulations to Baker Mayfield, our most outstanding player, head coach Bob Stoops, and the Oklahoma Sooners 2017 All-State Sugar Bowl champions.
Well, Jess, I think everybody got a glimpse of Baker Mayfield's major communications. He'll be on this side of the microphone someday.
No doubt about it. And what can you say about Bob Stoops and this football team and Baker Mayfield and the way they handled the adversity early in the year, starting 1-2, and then just sticking together, gelling together with their backs against the wall and fighting and improving. Became the first team in Big 12 history to go 9-0 in the regular season. And what a way to cap it off here with a great win in the Sugar Bowl. You just heard Baker Mayfield say it. His goal is to win a national championship next year. And with the talent they're going to have around him on offense, and the defense that has a lot of talent on that side as well, that's recruited very well on that side, they're going to have an opportunity, I think, not just to win an 11th Big 12 championship for Bob Stoops, but get back to the playoff.
Now, remember, next year with the Big 12, after they play the round robin, the two best teams will meet for the championship down in Jerry Jones Palace down there in Arlington. So it's going to be a tough go, but it should help the Big 12 position for the playoff.
Absolutely. And, you know, they're going to have to be road warriors. They've got to play at Ohio State next year. They've got to go at Baylor. They've got to go at Kansas State, who's going to be good. And they've got to go at Oklahoma State and Bedlam. But I think with Baker Mayfield and the skill they have, they're going to have all the talent. If they can start faster next year, maintain that consistency. You just heard Bob Stoops winning tonight. Huge momentum boost for them heading into 2017 season.
Well, listen, Jess, another great year, my friend.
Happy New Year, my man.
Oh, yes, indeed. Look forward to the next one, lad. And that'll do it from here. The Sugar Bowl champions, the Oklahoma Sooners, after giving up a touchdown to Auburn on the Tigers' first drive, they respond and close out with a 35-19 victory. So SportsCenter is coming up with Scott Van Pelt right after these messages. And folks, Jesse Palmer is going to be one of the guests. Oh, great insight still coming up.